Hi everyone, sorry I can't be there today. I just wanted to go over the counterargument and rebuttal paragraphs a little bit with you to give you a boost in what you're working on today in class. So remember that your counterargument and rebuttal goes after you lay out your plan. So you have your introduction that talks about the definition of the issue. Then you lay out your plan to solve the issue. Now you need to look at some different perspectives. And so these are the two ways to organize this section. You've already done this in your outline, but I wanted to show you a little bit more visually what this is going to look like in your paper. So this is the 2-paragraph method. So no matter if you go with the 2-paragraph or the 4-paragraph method, you're still going to have at least 2 counterarguments and at least 2 rebuttals. But determining which of these methods you want to work on is you're going to have to look to see what you want to accomplish and how much information that you have to work with. So in the 2-paragraph method, you'll have the counterargument and rebuttal in the same paragraph. So you might have a sentence starter like this. However, many people argue. Remember that you will have just completed laying out your plan and why your plan is going to work. Now you're looking at the other side. So you've got to signal to your audience what you're doing. So something like, however many people argue, shows them that you're going to show them a differing point of view. And you're going to follow that by research support for the counterargument. This should be multiple sentences. Right. Then you'll do the rebuttal in the same paragraph. Yet what this argument fails to consider is, and then you put in your explanation, arguing directly against this counterargument that you've set up. Once again, that's multiple sentences. But using this would mean that it has it would create a good solid paragraph. If you see that that paragraph is starting to really balloon into half a page length or something or more, then you really need to start thinking about breaking that into these two pieces into individual paragraphs. Then you just do the same thing with the second counterargument rebuttal. You signal a little bit different, right? So you've just done a counterargument and then you signal the rebuttal. Now you need to signal another counterargument. Like, furthermore, it might appear as if, and then followed by more research support for that second counterargument, and then you signal the rebuttal here. While this view seems convincing at first, upon further inspection. Now, these aren't the only ways to start a counterargument and rebuttal sentences. And the presentation in your module will help you and give you some more options there. But I thought this was a good way to work with this. So if you follow this model, you're going to have 2 really strong paragraphs. And depending on what you need out of the rest of your paper, that may be fine. But if you see these 2 paragraphs are really starting to expand and take up a lot of space so that the paragraphs themselves feel like it's overloaded by putting both the counterargument and rebuttal in the same paragraph, you need to do the 4-paragraph method. Right? It's the same exact thing, except you're breaking those paragraphs in 2. So the counterargument gets a paragraph, and then the rebuttal gets a paragraph. And then another counterargument gets a paragraph, and then the other rebuttal gets a paragraph. You'll see that I'm using the same sentence starters. You have the same research support, but in the 4-paragraph method, these paragraphs could stand on their own. In other words, if up here in the 2-paragraph method, if you only have maybe 2 or 3 sentences for your counterargument and 2 or 3 sentences for your rebuttal total, you're going to do the 2-paragraph method, right? Because that's going to give you a paragraph of 6, 7, 8 sentences. But if you're getting 6, 7, or 8 sentences for the counterargument alone or the rebuttal alone, then these need to be separated out. Now, the counterargument rebuttal, they don't have to take up the exact same amount of space, but you can't have like a 3-sentence counterargument and a 10-sentence rebuttal. They need to be a little bit more balanced so that you're showing your audience that you have given equal weight to both sides of the argument and you have made the most rational decision. Okay, so the 4-paragraph method is simply you have the counterargument in a paragraph and then a rebuttal in the next paragraph, followed by a counterargument in the next paragraph and a rebuttal in the next paragraph. All right, if you need a little refresher, this is the link to the presentation that's also linked in your module. While you're working on this today, keep time in mind. Remember that this is a rough draft. It's important, but at the same time, it's a rough draft. It means don't take time trying to make it perfect, but take the time to get it finished. Really, in the time you have today, you should be able to finish your counterargument and rebuttal paragraphs in class and be done with that section. Tomorrow, we'll talk about a little bit with conclusions and transitioning and what your works cited page should look like. And we'll talk about all those things in class tomorrow. But for today, really concentrate on getting these counterargument and rebuttal paragraphs done. So what I would suggest you do is on your MacBook or on your phone, set a 20-minute timer. And if you look at this, if you decide in 20 minutes, you should be able to write about a paragraph. So you might do 20 minutes and 20 minutes. There's 40 minutes or so to write these 2 paragraphs. And then if you want to move into your conclusion or work on another part of your paper, you can do that. For the 4-paragraph method, that's going to give you about 80 minutes. Either method that you choose, you should still be able to get it finished in class today. Hold yourself to those timelines, really be focused. Let your outline guide you because your outline should have your notes in it. Write to those, cite your sources, and you'll have a great day. If you have questions, email me. Thanks.